We have just completed our longest passage of the 2023 season, with winds so light that we wondered if we would have enough fuel. After 3 days in stunning Bonifacio, it's time to set sail again. Kate has picked up an injury, but we have an appointment to be lifted out of the water so that we can fly to the UK for a family wedding. It is a worry, but after taking medical advice, we press on towards the south of France. Ahead of us are another 2 to 3 days at sea with variable weather forecasts. But our fuel tanks are full, and once complete we will be within striking distance of our scheduled haul out. So let's get out there. This is Intrepid Bear, a 40-foot sailboat off to explore the world with her crew Ian and Kate.
Come aboard and let's see what's out there.
So coming out of here, the wind is up our butt, but the aisle, the fairway is quite narrow, and I can't swing the back end until we're well clear of the ground eyes here. So actually what I'm probably going to do is just drive forward, and then the prop walk on this boat means when the propeller is spinning this way, the boat will go that way as if it was a wheel on the ground. It's called prop walk. It's a paddle wheel effect. So what I'll do is I'll let the boat go over there, turn it down to starboard, because as I say, the wind is going to tend to push us that way anyway. And then instead of trying to force the bow around and us getting blown down onto the boats opposite, I'll just go astern. It'll pull the stern round. I might use the bow thruster a bit to help that. Starboard side. See how the stern's coming across now, just under the paddle wheel effect. And if I need a little bit more, then I just kick ahead. And then we'll go out in reverse, possibly using the bow thruster to steer, because she doesn't steer that well in reverse. But that'll be a lot more calm and controlled than trying to get around in time to go forwards out of here and then getting blown across there and panicking that you're about to hit those on the other side, possibly snagging a ground line, getting tangled up. Bad juju. In these conditions you would probably have been fine driving the boat out forwards, especially with a bow thruster. But it's usually better, especially if the wind had been stronger, to let the boat go where she wants to go and work with the elements and not against them. And with that, it was farewell to stunning Bonifacio. We had a couple of days at sea ahead of us. The winds were forecast to circulate, giving us winds from the northeast early in the passage, with a period of calm in the middle, and finally, if the forecast was correct, southwesterly winds to blow us in towards Marseille. That was the plan anyway. Okay, so main sail's up. We're a bit too tight to the wind to actually sail properly, so we'll motor sail until we get to the next waypoint, and hopefully we bear away a little bit more. That should just give us a sailing angle. Might still be quite tight, but then we go round a bit more once we get round the next point. So basically we're kind of following the wind. The wind should be blowing in towards the bottom of Corsica at the moment, sort of south-westerly, and then it should bend round once we get further up and becoming north-easterly, and that'll blow us across the ocean. Yeah, hopefully. According to the forecast. Righto. So over 60 degrees true, almost 60 degrees apparent. We were sailing 45 degrees true in light winds the other day. So in theory we should be able to sail this angle with the head sail as well as the main. So we'll get the head sail out and see how theory and reality match up. Sailing, baby. We are actually sailing and it's actually quite nice. Got about 5 knots in 10 knots of wind. It's not bad really, pretty close haul, but it's really nice. We're leaning over at, what are we at, 10 degrees? Yeah, only 10 degrees. It feels further because we haven't leant over for a while. But yeah, it's really nice. Hour to the next waypoint where we should bear away a bit. And if the wind holds this direction, then we'll be going even faster with less lean because we'll be bearing away. They are steaming. So they say whenever 2 sailboats are side by side, it's always a race. Well, we just got trounced, but they are 13 feet longer than us, and waterline length equals speed, so I don't feel too bad about that one.
They should be handicapped.
They should, well, they are, yeah, I mean, they haven't really won, because they will have a handicap for being bigger than us, so yeah, so they haven't really won, really, we're trouncing them, it just looks the other way around because they've gone past us. But hey, don't worry about that. Kate's on watch now. She's going to do the 12 to 4 shift. She's done some very complicated calculations about us arriving and me being on watch when we arrive. But that puts a lot of faith in the weather forecast and us getting there on time. But anyway, so she's starting the shift rotation 12 till 4. That means I'll be on 4 till 6. Kate will be on 6 till 8. Those are the 2 little dog watches. I'll be on 8 till midnight, and then it's 4 hours about, apart from those 2 dog watches at dinner time. Anyway, I'm having my prawn mayo sandwich. That's good. So that's the last waypoint up the side of Corsica. But anyway, we've borne away and maybe 15, 20 degrees, not loads, but it's just put us off the wind enough so with the true wind is now pretty much on the beam and the apparent wind is at sort of 60 degrees, and she's sailing quite nicely now. Fully expecting the wind to die, so we won't be disappointed when it does, because that's how it's meant to go. So far, so good. That is one big cloud over there, and there's definitely some thunder on that. We can hear it rumbling. It's forecast to stay over the land, so fingers crossed, because we don't really want any more of that thunder dodging. But yeah, you can definitely hear it rumbling, and as I say, that cloud over there, pretty imposing. So Kate has picked up a bit of an injury and got a bit of a foot injury this year. So what happened?
96 hours at sea, 300 miles, made it safely across, no injury, all done. Went to climb in cockpit to go and sit down, got done, and managed to catch my foot on something, or just move my footing and fall head first into but here. I bent my toes back on themselves. So yeah, I think I probably cracked the bone, a sort of hairline fracture more than snapped my toe. Just shows how easily things can happen, you know, and when there's 2 of you and suddenly one of you short-handed, it makes a difference, you know. But I'm always as careful as I can be because I'm clumsy, but sometimes, you know, accidents just happen and you have to learn to deal with them.
We can't really stop. If it wasn't for our appointment in Marseille, we would have probably stopped, you know, to recover and spend a few more days in Bonifacio, but we need to get up to Marseille. So we are pushing on to Marseille, and Kate's just not doing the deck work, the fenders and that sort of thing. So best just not do any deck work and be very careful going up and down the companionway, etc. What are you creating tonight?
Just really simple, just frying some chicken breast, cooking some pasta, a bit of chicken seasoning, and some pesto, and grated cheese over the top. So
simple as that.
Carbs and protein. So got a cruise ship bearing down on us, but they were CPA of like
50 meters not long ago, but they've turned more to their port now, so they're going in closer to shore. So just keeping an eye on them. But also, while we've had lunch or dinner, the wind has gone back round to the southwest more. So we could go sailing again now. Just make sure that cruise ship is well clear of us, and then I think we'll pull the head sail back out again, and we can start sailing. So actually the wind's a little bit lighter than we thought. So yeah, we're going to motor sail a little bit, just poodle along on very low revs until we hopefully pick up some more wind from the other direction. We're kind of in the, hopefully we're in the light patch now. It's 6:15. We've just turned almost due west. So we're heading directly away from Corsica now, but the forecast wind is probably 20 miles offshore, and so we're just going to head out that way and see if this wind flips around to coming from the north. We're just heading out there under engine because we've only got 4 knots of breeze most of the time at the moment, and hoping that that kicks in, and then we can drop the engine and sail for quite a few hours before there's a flat patch in the middle. Filming phones never works very well, but you can see, hopefully you can see there, that the wind right now is meant to be northerly. Those are the gusts, maybe gusting to 6 knots. What have we actually got? A yellow blob on the plotter is the true wind, and it is southwesterly at 6 knots. Almost completely the opposite of what the forecast says it's going to be. It can only work to the forecast, and if the forecast doesn't come true, what can you do? It's hopefully it's just a bit late and it will turn around, because it's very definitely northerly across that whole area in the next couple of days. So we'll wait and see, but yeah, it's not northerly yet. Okay, almost getting too dark to film, but you can just see some ripples starting on the water. It's not long since the last update, but you can also see that now they're coming from the north of our heading line. They're not coming from the north yet, but they've gone round a little bit, and the true wind needle is flicking over to our right hand side instead of our left hand side. The mainsail's just kind of flopping still, but it is going round, so maybe it is coming round to where it should be. It's a shame the light's gone just in the last minute. You can't see, but the sail's gone over to the other side. I'm starting to get a little bit of drive from it. So literally within the last hour and a half, we've gone from wind on our port side through the dead zone to wind on the starboard side, which is kind of what was forecast. Hopefully it'll go round a bit further and we can turn off the engine in an hour or two, maybe, who knows. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday dawns. It's quite bright. The wind is not quite as strong as we might have hoped, and although it's picking up to sort of 6 knots now, so we might get a little bit of drive out of it. Other than that, not a huge amount to report. Big gas tanker, the gas Serenity, approaching within a 1 mile CPA, but that 1 mile's plenty, so nothing to worry about. Sleeping so well on these off watches. It's 10:43 on Tuesday. I was off watch until midday, but I'm wide awake, and Kate's had very little sleep, so said she could go grab some extra Zeds. The wind has dropped light, we're only getting 3 knots at times, and it's come right forward on the beam now as well. On the weather map you can see the ribbon of no wind, and we are supposed to be in it right about now. So the wind is light, but it was forecast and we have plenty of fuel. Join us next time as the weather remains close to the forecast and blows us in towards Marseille.